Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into your weekly dose of conspiracy. Guys, this is a series I've been wanting to start for a while. Full disclaimer before this video gets started, this is just food for thought stuff. It's not meant to be, fully taken seriously. We're just having some fun and looking at some different conspiracies on Reddit, things like that. Food for thought. We're just having fun. There's no reason to ban or suspend anyone, guys. It's just a fun thing on the internet. Just some fun things I found. So, guys, let's get right into it. And our favorite Brooklyn dad, who was paid by the Democrats, says, "New, if you want to go to a gym or to a restaurant in New York City, you have to show proof of vaccination. This is huge. Yes, let's all cheer as people's rights gets taken away." It's so backwards, guys, how... what kind of a person do you have to be to, celebrate people's individual freedoms getting taken away? I guess this dude does. And then just a month later, he says, her body, her choice, nobody else's business matters. So at that point, he does care about rights, right? It's just funny how that works. Now, this story is really crazy. The fake Rolling Stone story, I've heard many people talk about it. Rachel Maddow shared it. This was the original tweet. It says, gunshot victims left waiting as horse dewormer overdoses overwhelm Oklahoma hospitals, doctor says. And as you can see, that's a totally misrepresented photo. Rachel Maddow got her dirty paws on it. She says, her tweet says, quote, patients overdosing on ivermectin backing up rural Oklahoma hospitals' ambulances. The scariest one I've heard of and seen is people coming in with vision loss. So that is 100% fake news. And then it says, here's a message from the administration of Northeastern Health System. They have not treated any patient due to complications related to taking ivermectin. This includes not treating any patients from ivermectin overdose. So it was a completely, totally made-up, fabricated story. And, right now, I don't think Rachel Maddow has retracted that and says that, yes, I was spreading misinformation. See, these people always talk about how the other side spreads misinformation, and then they do it, and then they don't even retract their own stuff. So the media's been on this weird tirade against ivermectin. And Rachel Maddow, gets a little bit overzealous, doesn't do any fact-checking. The Rolling Stone, same thing. They just throw stuff out there and see if it sticks. Canadians, please do your part in a few weeks and get this clown out. So this is Trudeau, and this is what he said. He says, quote, yes, there is a small fringe element in this country that is angry, that doesn't believe in science, that is lashing out with racist, misogynistic attacks. Trudeau is a buffoon. And notice the kind of defense mechanism that these people have. It's always, you're a racist, you're a misogynist, no matter what. You don't believe in science. It's always the same thing. And unfortunately, it says, Canadians, please do your part and get this clown out. I don't think it's happening. Now, this one is crazy. Rutgers bars unvaccinated student from attending virtual classes. Isn't the whole reason they're virtual to stop the spread of the virus? So there's no way he can spread the virus whether or not he's vaccinated or unvaccinated. It's the blind leading the blind at these universities. It's mind-blowing. It's a funny photo. The dude's just kind of sitting there, just depressed with his Rutgers shirt on, looking at a computer. Like, what are we doing here, folks? I mean, my goodness. Reminder that this shit exists on this site. So this is from Reddit. And it's R Rape Fantasies. This is a safe space for both bottoms and tops to understand more about their attraction to rape and forced sex. 186,000 members. And see, the thing is with Reddit, they've been banning certain platforms because, guys, quite frankly, Reddit is very left-leaning, and that's fine. That's like a lot of social media networks, but they'll go out and they'll ban legitimate, subreddits because they're too far to the right, but then they keep stuff like this up, rape fantasies. I am shocked this is even a thing on Reddit. There's a lot of this Australia stuff. It's getting out of control at this point. It says, guys, we're effed. I'm an activist in Australia, and right now this has gone way too far. Uneven hacking field. Government surveillance bill passed by Parliament. This is a very scary bill. It says here, it's official. They've passed the surveillance bill, allowing police to hack your device, collect or delete your data, and take over your social media accounts. They can even modify an ad and frame you for a crime you never committed. This is without a doubt next level corruption. That's not the only thing from Australia I found. I did a video on Australia previously. It's getting really bizarre there. So here's a story. Australia, this is not okay. Please help us. I'm sure you've all seen what's going on here, and it's out of control. I don't know what to do. We have a controlled media that is censoring anything anti-lockdown. The narrative is still that we are, quote, all in this together. However, no mention of mental health, which is on the rise. Lifeline has had more calls than ever before. A bill has been passed that allows the AFP to access, edit, and delete social media accounts with the enforcement of up to 10 years jail time if they don't comply. So they can take over and manipulate posts and continue to own the social account without a warrant. Lawyers are having their licenses taken off them for representing class action lawsuits against the lockdown. Police are currently charging protesters with bail conditions that don't allow them to continue to protest because if they do, they will be outside of their 5-kilometer lockdown limit. This is then going against the health minister's advice, which is a jailable offense. I mean, it is really scary what is going on with Australia right now. And it really, emphasizes the point. We really need to check the government and make sure there is not too much government overreach. The problem is you have many people now, this day and age, arguing that the government should be more involved in people's lives. Conspiracy theory, Reddit is now allowing conversations about COVID-19 and the dangers of the vaccine only on this sub because they want the narrative to be that anyone who has an alternate opinion is a crazy conspiracy theorist. That used to be one of the main things they would say. It's the same 4 or 5 things. They'll call you a racist, they'll call you misogynistic, crazy conspiracy theorist, anti-science, any one of those things, but we're at the point where I think many people, especially independent people, really don't buy into that because, they've done it so much. Anything that they don't agree with, oh, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist. I think at this point, people need to be happy that Reddit is even allowing some subreddits like this conspiracy one at this point, and they're not shut down. It's a miracle that they're not shut down. Explain. Yes, people are back in school. As you can see, all of the adults who statistically, have a much higher risk of suffering, severe complications of the coronavirus. None of them have masks, and all the children who are significantly less at risk statistically are all wearing masks. It all makes sense, guys. It all makes sense. Now, here's a golden one from BBC News. COVID-19, no plans for vaccine passport. That was December 1st of 2020. Fast forward about 9-10 months, COVID-19, vaccine passports to start in England this month. And that just goes to show you how quickly they can flip the narrative. They can't do that in a day, but they can do it over a 9-month period. Remember Dr. Fauci saying 2 weeks to flatten the curve? It's a narrative, and then, 2 weeks becomes a month. Then a month becomes 2 or 3 months. Then it's go out and get the vaccine. Now people have gotten the vaccine, but you can still get the virus while having the vaccine. It changes, guys, and it changes fast, but not too fast. You couldn't have these two, headlines within a month of each other, but in the span of 9 months, yes, no, just 2 weeks to flatten the curve. We just gotta flatten the curve. Oh, yes, and as time goes on, you shift your narrative, and now it's like, well, let's lock down everyone. You can't go to work. The government says you can't work. You need to be a good person. You need to stay inside. We see what's going on in Australia with the ridiculous government overreach. I don't think the government should ever tell you you cannot work. I don't think that should ever be a thing. Here's a CNN global warming tweet. Scared by the recent report on climate change? Here's what you can do to help. Eat less meat, about 30% less. Swap your car or plane ride for a bus or train. Use a smart thermostat in your home. I'm laughing because if you implemented those 3, you wouldn't change a damn thing about global warming. Wait a minute, guys. Guys, I was going to eat steak tonight, but now I'm just going to have a salad. Oh my God, I think the Arctic, the ice is not melting now. I think the Arctic temperature is going to drop a degree tonight because I'm going to be eating a salad and not steak. And then a comment under it, reminder that 100 corporations are responsible for 71% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Many of them are from China, by the way. And presenting the crisis as a moral failing on the part of individuals without noting this is journalistic malpractice. And I wanted to find a stat. So this was on Reddit, and in one of the comments, it says, it has been estimated that just one shipping container, the length of around 6 football fields, can produce the same amount of pollution as 50 million cars. The emissions from 15 of these mega ships match those from all the cars in the world. Yet another reason to support local manufacturing. So, like, dude, this whole idea that we're all in this together with climate change, no, it is these major corporations emitting the most greenhouse gases. And the idea that you can switch, go to Amazon.com and buy a smart thermostat, guys. Tonight, you're scheduled to you want to have a burger? No, eat a salad. Eat a salad. The polar bears will thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're all in this together. Yes, it's not just the major corporations who mass produce things, putting up a bunch of smog in the atmosphere. You look at China and how much they produce. No, we can't blame them. It's all America's fault. China produces almost double the CO2 net emissions the United States does. But no, blame America. It's all America's fault. We're bad people. And if we just became vegetarians, and if we just went out and bought a smart thermostat, and if we didn't go on a plane, we would save the world, right? All right, now I want to talk about this thing on Facebook. And I was confused by it at first. I want to explain it. It's just crazy how they track everything you Google and look up on the internet. So you look at this picture, it says that, are you concerned that someone you know is becoming too prepared? And then you look up and it says, canning simple recipes, food garden, preserving, and crafting group. So I guess they're equating someone being in that group to being too prepared, or like trying to sort of get ready for an apocalypse or something. Like it says, are you concerned that someone you know is becoming too prepared? I don't even know what that means. Like, are they talking about like too prepared for like an apocalypse? I just found that really odd. Maybe it's a coincidence, but it's a very interesting thing to look up. And we'll end the first edition of your weekly dose of conspiracy with a JFK quote. This was a week before his assassination. Quote, there's a plot in this country to enslave every man, woman, and child. Before I leave this high and noble office, I intend to expose this plot. And quote, 7 days before his assassination. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this week's edition of your weekly dose of conspiracy. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description, guys. I am, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.